You recording?
You're always recording, but you know how recording go? Why you always gotta look at the camera right now?
Oh, because that's what it is.
You trying to check yourself out?
Yeah, just
make sure my eyebrows on fleek.
that always look good very late at night.
It's not very late. It's not even 11. Come on.
Really?
I mean, anyway. What up, dog? Welcome to another episode of
Hello.
Staige. I'm the math guy, Steve. This is
Paige, babe.
Paige, babe. Okay. We got a rather interesting topic today. Before we get to that,
Goodness.
don't first of all,
Wait,
don't
what is
goodness me. Don't worry.
Cause
You ain't gotta be knowing the stuff, okay? The stuff.
well,
Get the stuff.
I gave them an easy one last week. It was fun-filled. It was informative.
Are you insinuating that my topics are difficult or hard?
You always come out of left field. I don't know.
First of all, right field deserves some
left, right.
I see you already looking, bro. I feel like you're always looking.
Come on.
Before we do that, how was your day, babe?
Wild.
How's up?
Or
how was your week?
Wild.
Okay.
It was one for the books. It was a learning week, but we're here. We made it as always.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. The weekend it was not as relaxing as I thought it would be. My weekends are never really relaxing.
Okay.
But I normally get at least a smidge more, breathing room. I just didn't get it this time, so we'll see if I have to pay for it this week.
Okay, I think you'll be fine. But yeah, it was rather interesting and long week. But the weekend, I don't think it was long, but I see what you mean. I know what you're talking about. So, well, we made it.
Yeah.
Making it happen, Calvin. My week was not too bad. I mean, it was, work. It was family, kids, church. Yeah. Regular
riding through the land was one of my favorite parts of the week. So
yeah, today
I love doing that. Yeah, we don't usually get to do that, to just ride through. So that felt good.
Riding through the land, just analyzing and scoping out exactly where we want things for the future, and for everybody's future, not just ours, but just kind of pinpointing where we want things and just kind of planning things out. So yeah, that was good.
And the cool game.
Oh yeah. So
to me, I will say it's a lot doing multiple.
So let's explain. So you don't know what Kahoot is? It's a quiz style game that you play online that a bunch of people can play at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
My nephew
is
first
obsessed.
talks about it. He's really yes. He creates his own Kahoots. He's only 7, but he does a bunch of different type quizzes for us, etc. every week. I actually got on it when I was teaching online at one of the colleges, but for high school students going into college. I got it onto it this past summer. But anyway, so every week we have game night.
Yes.
Where we all, at first was just him creating Kahoots. And then it was me and him creating Kahoots. And now
he's slowly making everyone create a Kahoot.
Yes, exactly. All of us have to create a Kahoot for game nights.
Mm-hmm.
And we did 4 of them yesterday. Well, we did 3. Tried to do a 4th.
3. His was 35? 33 questions. And yours was
27. And James was 10. And my dad was coming up, and we just
second week in a row, can't get his food going.
So anyway, but I mean, it was fun. It was entertaining, and
and it's just like that family time. Yeah, he was so excited.
Yeah.
Just seeing the kids all joining in. even like Mel and Sam, they were like, yeah, like no red, triangle,
Daddy,
square.
Daddy, choose red. Daddy, choose red.
Yes.
Chad, you won my cahoots.
Yes.
Shane won Shane Senior's cahoots, and I won. No. Yeah, I won Shane Jr.'s cahoots.
But that last question, I was supposed to win.
Paige was in the lead the entire time, and she did not get the last question.
Because the last question had a word misspelled.
Hey, I got the dub.
We'll consult my sister-in-law on that one.
We consult the creator, Shane Jr. I won. Thank you. Anywho.
Wow. No, he did. He said he had
cahoots.
No, he said he had to fix the wording. So
okay, but I got it correct, did I not? Dub's a dub.
Wow.
Anywho,
you gonna do that to a 7-year-old? Okay.
I'm just saying. No, I'm saying I know how to read my nephew. I know how to read him, and I'm just saying I got it correct. It's okay not to be okay. That's what Chandler Moore said on the song. I'm just saying. All right, so today's episode, I lowered your chair thinking that our chairs had to be even, but now it looks like my head is like 7 times the size of yours. So I'm not sure.
That's usually like forward, like more.
I know, so maybe I should raise yours back up.
It doesn't matter how high or low I am. It's just you're sitting in front of me. Like my head is back here.
So should I scoot the chair back?
See?
Okay. I'm just saying, well, should you scoot your chair forward?
Or that you didn't ask me to do that.
I'm asking you if that's the appropriate thing to do. That's all I was asking.
I don't know. We can try both. I mean, let's try it now, so at least you can cut that part out.
You know what? This episode is about having roommates. Yeah. So we've had quite the interesting tale of roommates throughout our existence, collectively, separately, both of those. We'll start with the first group of roommates we've all had, and that is our parents.
Oh, I was about to say college roommates.
We start early, bitch.
How you know you were sleeping as a child?
I just meant how was your parents growing up? That's all I meant.
Oh,
they were your roommates way past a 2-year-old. They were your roommates at 18 as well. So how are you? How was your mom? Oh yeah, that's a valid point.
Mm-hmm.
How was your mom as a roommate, not as a mom per se, but as a roommate or someone who you're living with? I think that's the
early on. Well, Carlotta. She was just and has always been like a Maui or the highway type of person.
Indeed.
So it was strict adjacent.
Okay.
Sometimes more strict than not. But it was basically like we were kids. We had to do what was asked of us or else, basically.
Yeah, I meant more so as in how was she like, let's say you said strict adjacent. What does that mean? I mean, so they're strict parents. They are very lenient. They call themselves progressive. Okay, that's fine. There are, at what level? Okay, give me some examples of what you mean by strict adjacent, or how strict and then how adjacent, that type of thing. Like, what does that mean?
I don't know. I mean, she is a very old school parent, and so growing up, it was just like kind of how you see things normally play out. It was always like, what did we watch the other day when it was like, I don't know what it's like to go into my parents' bedroom. Like, that's how I grew up. Like, like, even now, like, I don't like to go in people's rooms and things or touch people's stuff. Like, that's just not me. That's not my style. And I know that came from, like, how I was raised. Like, that just wasn't something that I did. Or if I ever had to get anything, you gotta ask first. Or Or we just heard like can't come inside twice. It was just very like old school growing up. You know, the make sure you come on for the street lights come on, or before she got home from work.
Explain to you how podcast goes. Saying that's the whole point. People don't be knowing like that.
Well, I'm talking to you, so
I know we're talking to a podcast as well. I was trying to make a joke. It didn't.
No, it didn't.
Okay. My point is, I know that you grew up, but also that's going to come up later. I've been a roommate with your mom, so I know how your mom is. I'm saying, give me some more deets that I didn't know, because I some things that I don't know about how y'all grew up. I know part of it was that at one point y'all were living with your grandparents as well, especially after the hurricane and that type of thing. So I don't know all the details about y'all's.
Well, no, after the hurricane,
roommate version of who a roommate was y'all growing up. I don't know all this.
Oh, well, after Hurricane Katrina, we were in Tupelo with my other family, and with part of my family who lives in Tupelo. So we were out there, and my grandparents, they were older, and so they just decided that they didn't want to travel. They didn't want to go back to New Orleans. Mm-hmm. And so they bought a house there, and we ended up staying there for the rest of the school year. And so my mom came back to work, and we were there to finish out the school year with my grandparents.
I know that information. I'm talking about your mom as a roommate.
I don't know. I mean, if you're talking about that time, I feel like I always say this, like,
to me, not in the podcast.
It was just, I don't know. I mean, growing up, she was she was very like strict, because we just always had to have things in order. Like, she was by herself, and like we had to have stuff in order. So I guess because so she could maintain. Mm-hmm. And so with us three. So being older now, I'm like, okay, now I understand like why she was the way she was. And I guess, I mean, I feel like I was well trained as a child. I know a lot as an adult.
But also on the flip side of what you were saying, okay, but she was also not just strict, but strict adjacent, meaning not as strict as you seem. Is that what you mean by that? Or?
I think me as a parent now, I probably, the kids are very young, so I can't really speak to that. But I say strict adjacent because if you would do the right thing, you would get like a little more like leverage, a little more like room to like work with certain things. And so you got a little more, I don't want to say freedom, because we always had freedom growing up. It was just, she was like less strict in a sense of like, I don't have to be so harsh on you because I know that you know better. But if she felt like there was a lesson that needed to be like reiterated, or something that we weren't getting and things like that, she would just make sure that she like really put in that time to work with us. Like, I remember even when like if summer camp would like go out, like run its run its course, and like whatever, she always had us in like programs, like enrichment programs, summer camps, like classes, like cooking classes, like all these different classes and things, just things to like stimulate our minds. Then even outside of that stuff at home, I mean, it's probably like busy work, but she would still give us like school work to do, like when we were at home, like just so that we wouldn't sit like idle. And I mean, we weren't really like video game kids growing up. We were always like outside kids. Like, I can't wait to get up and go ride my bike, play basketball, like race, like.
So, okay. And maybe this, because I'm thinking about my version of this too. Maybe it's hard to separate who your parent is versus who them as a roommate or them as someone who you just live with, right? And so that's what I was trying to maybe get the comparison of is like compared to all the people you've lived with since. How was your mom as just someone you live with? Like, yo, that's what I meant by that. So like, okay, what I'm thinking is okay. It's hard to separate like my dad or my mom from okay, well, but they were my parents at the time, right? Like I know my dad is a rough parent, but as someone you live with, he was okay. I guess he kind of just left you to yourself, and but if he saw you in the hallway, like then it was just like, okay, what you doing? That like, he was a parent then, but as far as like a roommate, like you just kind of leave it to yourself. My mom, she's that roommate as well as a parent, same person who I was like just check on you, like, hey, just make sure you're good. You need something downstairs? Okay, all right, just make sure, like that type of thing. So, but that's what I meant by who was she as a roommate versus a parent. Because
that's the difference. I mean, you have very young parents, so I can understand like with the both dynamics you just came from. I can understand that, but my mom being a lot older, it was really she was just like a mama. Like if she saw us like not doing anything, it was like, here, finish this multiplication sheet or read this book. But I always read books growing up, and so I would get in trouble for like having my little reading like under the cover and things like that. Or if she just never wanted to see us sitting still, so if we were just sitting still doing like nothing or whatever, she'd be like, go outside or do this. But
there's my point.
Or find something.
Because this is going to lead into the rest of this episode is that can you separate her as not being your mom and think of her as no. Hold on. I'm asking you to do so right now. And think of her as who she would, if that was just a random person that you were roommates with and was that person that, oh man, you want me to always be doing something? I mean, we cool and all, but that's what I meant by that type of a roommate. Okay, let me. We'll circle back.
Who would expect that from their roommate?
Hold on. Hear me out. We have plenty. You've been roommates with plenty. So hear me out. Your siblings, you've been roommates with them for quite a while, or for quite a while. You were your siblings. How were they as roommates? Not how were they as children of your mother. Not how were they as siblings. How were they as roommates? Because you can separate those.
I would say my sister was very needy and my brother was very boy-like. But I only call my sister needy because she's my younger sister. So
needy or needy?
Needy. Double
How so? Needy of you? Of
me? Yeah. Like,
okay.
Can you help me do this? Or can we play this? Or it was always, can we play something? Or can we do something? And like, I was just like, man, I'm so tired because I'm the oldest. And so it was like, I wanted to like do my own thing, like kind of have my own freedom and my own space. But I don't know. I don't know if we were ever really encouraged to really do that. Like, it was just, it's three of us, so it was a lot for her to handle. So it's not like you go do this over here, then you go do this over here, then you go this over here. It's like, trying to find ways for certain people to do things together and things like that to like cut down on time, basically. And so it was always like, there was a period in my life where I was just like, man, I can't wait to have the freedom to like do things on my own.
Gotcha. Oh, you can say much about your brother.
He was just always a boy.
What does that even mean? He was always a boy.
Like,
I am a boy, Damon.
Right. He always, like my brother, like he always had his own room. He always like did his own things. Like he got to like dabble into like a lot more like extracurriculars than we did. He went to like a different school. Like he went to like all boys school and like all this stuff. And so it was me and my sister, we did the same thing until we went to different high schools. And then he always did his own thing. But also, I was a little bit separated from them because even though I am, 3.5 or 3-ish years older than my sister.
2.5.
But, what is it? I ain't about to say no years.
2.5. Y'all 2.5.
Hold on.
2.5 years apart. You're a year and a half older than Juan, 2.5 older than. Oh, I'm not supposed to say names, I guess. May.
Well, okay, whatever it is. But I was always, I'm the oldest, and so I always had to do a lot.
Yeah, okay, I get you. I want to address what you just said just now about the. How you gonna say y'all didn't have? Okay, maybe you're thinking about when you were younger, in your 9, 8, 7 years. Did you just say y'all all went to different? Well, because Juan, he was separated because he was a boy, but then I was separated from Maya but then I only got my own separation, and then I'm like, well, that's 3 different separations. Y'all did 3 different things. That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, well, I think she means. That's what I was like. Okay, maybe.
I said then once we got to the high school level, we were in separate high schools.
So that's what you mean by when you got older, you were able to do your own thing?
Yes.
Okay, I thought you meant older, like when you were grown, like an adult. I'm like,
no.
Wait, but then
I said high school.
No, now you said high school. I'm saying earlier you said when I got older, but when I was younger, so I didn't know.
When I got older and went to high school, we ended up going to separate high schools.
I heard that part. I'm saying you said when you were talking about when y'all were younger, I didn't know what it meant to do my own thing until I got older. I was thinking older as an adult, like when you became like 20.
I said older, and then I said the high school thing. That's why I thought
you didn't say the high school thing, that part.
Okay, you're going to have to run it back and play it. But
you can stop it now and run it back. Hold on a second. First of all, you're not going to do it. We're going to rewind, right?
Of course, he went to like a different school. Like he went to like all boys school and like all this stuff. And so it was, me and my sister, we did the same thing until we went to different high schools. And then he always did his own.
But yeah, my brother as a roommate was, boy-like, as you would say. No, he was typical roommate and just kind of. I think it's because you sit back and I sit forward. It's like you.
This chair naturally sits back, but I can sit like this. Is this better?
I just wanted to. It was a riff. My brother, he was just kind of. Well, first, me and him are nothing alike as far as personality wise, right? We grew up in the same house, but you could say we were miles away as far as just who we were, the type of person we were. We're best friends. I still love him to death, but it's kind of we were not anywhere near the same person. So our styles of living was also not the same. I'm, as you can tell, a night owl. It's just been since I was a kid, as far as I can remember. Whereas he, first thing in the morning, he's up. If the cock is crowing, he's outside, ready. That type of person. I was never that person until I had kids when that was necessary.
I want to say, could you be calling him sometimes? Like, why are you not up?
Well, now it's necessary, so I have to wake up early. That's just what I do. If I can go to sleep early, I try to go to sleep early. Now it's just most times it's not possible.
I wish I was asleep right now because
we're trying to shoot the potty, Paige. What you mean? You wish you to sleep? You don't like shooting the potty for me? Come on, man.
I love it. Yes.
You just wish we could do a different time.
Mm-hmm.
But so growing up, we were yin and yang. We fit together. It's just we were nowhere near the same type or style of person, I guess. So
even in like high school and stuff, he was getting up early doing what?
Well, in high school we both had to get up early for
football.
Yeah, for sports.
Oh, okay.
I hated it. He was ready to go. He was just like, "Come on, brother, come on, man, we gotta go." Like he was that guy.
I was like, was he up like making breakfast, like
but also you have to remember
schoolwork together, like ready to go, like that type of thing?
So we're 3.5 years apart, and you say in high school it was only like
How are y'all 3.5? Oh no, you're okay.
Because we're 3.5 years apart.
I'm gonna say because I'm only a couple months.
A couple months? What?
6? Well, a few or whatever you call it. What? Half?
10?
Wait, hold on.
You're in December. He's in October. Go ahead, do all your fingers. All the ones you got. It's 10.
Cause your mama make it sound like it's so close, and I'm like, cause that's how she counts it.
You and Janae are way closer.
She be like, "How old are you?" And she be like, "Okay, so Shane is." Like that's how she does it.
You and Janae are close. No, actually, no, sorry. You and Janae are a year and a half. Cause he's in June, but it's the June before yours, right?
We're the same year. She's just in June. So.
Oh, so she's 6. You're close to
6 months. Yeah.
And you're 10 months away from him.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm 3.5 years older than Shane, and
you almost 4 years. That don't make sense.
How? I'm in July. He's in October.
So you're 3 years older than me.
3 years and 4 months. I am. No, Paige.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get this math. We have to cut this photo out.
2.5 years older than you.
But I'm 10
2 years and 5 months. I'm rounding each time. I'm 2 years and 5 months older than you. I'm 3 years and 4 months older than Shane. Yes, 3 years and 3 months older than Shane. I'm doing rounding.
Oh, because I'm like, that is blowing my mind. Okay.
I'm 2 years and 5 months older than you, 3 years and 3 months older than Shane. So if I round with you, 2 years and 5 months, I round down to say 2 years. I could say 2.5, sure. But with Shane, 3 years and 4 months, I round it. Only because I did that as a kid. I just said 3.5 years. It's easier than saying 3 years, 4 months, 3 years, 3 months, and 20-something days. This is not the purpose of this podcast.
No, because it was confusing me because I remember when we were pregnant with third and your mom was like... How many more
topics I got on the list?
Your mom was like, you'll be okay because Shane and Stephen are 2 years apart. And I was like...
We're not even close to 2 years apart. 3 plus years apart.
Oh, okay. Well, she was saying like 2 and I was like, oh...
Remember how you just said she forgot that she opened the door for you earlier?
No, that I held the door for her.
That you opened the door for her? Yeah, we're not gonna go. Okay. Whew. All I was saying was when you said in high, so I'm cutting all of that out.
There was too many codes.
When you said even in high school, we're 3 plus years apart. So the only time we had in high school together was my senior year, was his first freshman year. That was my hurricane year.
Yeah, that was mine.
Huh?
Mm-hmm. Her and Bree and all of them.
No. Listen to my point. No. Mine was a freshman. Well, mine was 8th grade when you were a senior. Oh, no, when you were a senior. Mine was a freshman. Yes, either way. My point is when you say even in high school, well, we didn't even have time together in high school. So it wasn't like, because I didn't even have my senior year with them. As in, we had a month or a few weeks, then the hurricane happened. Mm-hmm. We were in high school together, actually, at the same high school for like 2 months. And then the rest of the time, the other second half of the semester, the second half of the year, I went back to Franklin. So I didn't really even know him in high school, like as far as spend time with him. I didn't even have that part. We were in the same house, maybe for like 2 months.
Mm-hmm. Y'all didn't see each other for like a year?
No, I was saying, you said we were back to the original conversation. I said, we're not the same type of person, as in he wakes up early, I go to sleep late. And then you said, even in high school, that's when I brought up this conversation. Then you went to 3 different tangents.
I was going back on, okay. The math thing was like blowing my mind. Okay.
That's what I'm like, all right, back to what I was trying to make that connection that we're not the same person in that way. And even in high school, I don't even know if he changed those ways or whatever. I don't know. Okay. Then I had on the list as far as, so roommates is a vague term, right? So someone you just stay with for a while can be a roommate, or even someone that you have over for weeks or months at a time. So like I put on here even like cousins or friends. The reason I bring it up is because like I know I will stay with my cousin for 3-4 days at a time by Aaron's house, or by other cousin's house, or by my friends, not so much. But I mean, even by Dave's house in high school, I would stay by them for a while. Or even speaking of hurricane, me and Ashley and Aaron stayed together for that entire last semester of my senior year. And even me or Ash stayed by us, by my parents' house for 2 years that she was in school. So, all that to say, have you had any cousins or friends or family that stayed by you for extended periods, and how were they as roommates?
Other than like when we were kids, my cousin used to stay by us, but that was only because her mom was a police officer, so she had to go to work like super early.
Okay.
And so our cousin would stay with us like a lot of the time. And I remember she's younger than my younger sister. So she would like pee in the bed, and so she peed in my bed once, and I was like, you have to go stay on the other side of the room.
Go
sleep up. I kicked out of my bed, not out of the room, of course, but I kicked out of my bed. But then her mom used to come get in my bed before she had to go to her shift at work. She would like come by us and like bring her daughter to school, or come by us and stop or do whatever. I was so young, but I remember her getting in my bed, and I would like get up for school, have to get up. She got all her like NOPD stuff on the dresser. Like, man, I hope none of this stuff go off by the time, like, while I'm getting my uniform out. But yeah, that's what I remember.
Yeah, I mean, staying with my cousins, all three of us are really, really different, even though we all went to the same high school, Easy and Ash. But yeah, no, it was, all, there was never a dull time or day.
I would guess so. Y'all were youngins living in that house.
Well, okay, so Ash was in college. I was a senior. Easy was a junior.
That sounds like super bad.
Well, except the fact that we're all nerds. So
I know.
It was nothing. Like
technically it was like super bad.
No. They were just lame. We were nerds and lame. This is different. Okay. But no. It was interesting. Then even when Ash came to stay with my parents, Ash is
that's when I met Ash.
One of a kind human being.
Yes.
And so her as a roommate.
Shout out.
I will never forget 2 instances. One of which was, okay, so listen, now hear me out.
No, okay. Tell the people how you are.
Hold on, wait. It's 2 different. I'm gonna see if you remember both. Okay, I know the one you're talking about, so I'll bring it up last. The first instance where I knew Ash was a very particular person. Now, growing up, is me, my dad, my brother, and my mother. My mother taught us to clean. And she taught us to clean the toilets properly, in a correct manner.
Don't do your mama.
And me and my brother were boys. We didn't care.
Now you can say y'all boys, but you don't understand what I meant when I say my brother was being a boy.
You talked about his entire time you lived with him, 18 years.
Mm-hmm. Like that.
We were boys. We did it the way that we didn't care. I'm talking about a very specific type of thing that I'm cleaning the toilet as a boy would, not being a whole human. Yeah, 18 years. How you describe your brother? Shoot, boy. That's him. He boy. Anyway, so I would clean the toilet. There's a rag underneath the sink. You go clean the toilet with that. That's why it's under the sink, because that's the rag to clean the toilet. You clean the toilet. You wash that rag, and you put it back underneath the sink. That's what I thought you would do.
Like in a washing machine?
Sometimes.
Like you put your hand in the toilet with a rag?
Oh, no. And this is probably even worse. The part at the bottom, underneath the toilet.
Wait, what?
As in the little ring, the little metal around underneath the toilet, down at the bottom. The metal parts, you clean that with the rag. You clean around.
But you put your hand in the toilet water and wash it like that with the rag?
No. Just the parts that's outside of the toilet bowl.
Wait, you only clean the seat of the toilet?
No, I clean that inside the toilet with the toilet brush.
Bro.
Please, I'm just talking about the parts around.
I never do that. Wait, so you clean the seat in the hood?
No, I even clean that with the toilet brush. Just the bottom part. Just the part that I'll clean that with a rag. That's it.
Like the bowl, the outside bowl of the toilet, and like the little
and then the little yes. I clean that with the rag.
But what about the top of the toilet?
No, I clean that with the toilet brush.
The top, the.
Oh no! That part so I had already cleaned that before because that part you use out. That part I use a Clorox wrap for. Listen, I had no rhyme or reason of how we were supposed to do this. That part because I had already cleaned the sink with the Clorox wipes as well.
Use the same Clorox wipes?
No, I mean there's a bunch of different Clorox wipes.
Oh,
I'm just saying I had already cleaned those parts with the Clorox wipes. Then I opened the toilet, cleaned that with the toilet bowl. For some reason, it never occurred to me. The toilet bowl scrubber. It never occurred to me to clean the bottom with also Clorox wipes. So I would clean it with a rag that was underneath the sink. Anywho, Ash never.
And then you wouldn't wash it. You wouldn't. Oh, it's making my stomach. You wouldn't wash it in the washing machine.
I'm washing the sink and just clean with the Clorox wipes.
Do you know what's on the side of the
Paige? I didn't say it was supposed to be correct. This is not the point. I was the terrible roommate in this situation. Okay, that's the point I'm trying to bring up. The point is the fact that Ash despised the fact that she saw me do it once, and Ash doesn't curse, but she got mighty close that day. She flipped out, then when told everyone she could find number, name, and said, "Do you know what he was doing? Do you know what he was doing?" So that's one instance of Ash. Another instance I stand by to this day, and I will never stand down. And that is, so one day me and my brother outside playing basketball. Now it's me, Ash, and Shane, but the only ones home. And we're playing basketball, and total accident, I promise you. But Shane gets hit in the nose with an elbow from me. Now, I've been known to be rough.
Accident?
It was an accident. That's why it was no big deal. Shane didn't try to fight me or nothing. And that was an often case back in that time.
Not back in the gap.
Back in the gap. So anyway, it was clearly an accident. And so, but his nose is bleeding. So I go inside really quickly. Ash is standing in the kitchen. And I go inside really quickly. His nose bleeding. Goodness, I need a towel. So I grab just a regular old washcloth.
Not the toilet one?
No, not the toilet one. It was not underneath the sink. This is just regular washcloth. Just sitting there by the dirty clothes. I just grabbed a washcloth. It's white washcloth, but it's just washcloth. To get his nose and hold
not the
nose. Blood. So in my mind, I'm trying my hardest not to get in trouble with my parents. That's all I care about this point. Because I know they think that they probably gonna think that we covered it up, that me and Shane was fighting. It was the whole thing. We just made up a story. And so I'm thinking, bro, I'm just trying not to get in trouble with my parents. It's because it's clearly an accident. And so this is not one of the times we need to be in trouble, okay? So, but Ash has no clue or just doesn't care, one of the two, about prior situations.
She knows she wasn't about to get in trouble.
I said, let's just, you know what, I'm about to, actually, no, I didn't even say anything. I said, all right, so we're going to put this in the bag, just throw it outside real quick so that, and then just clean up the blood that we have outside. It's just blood. It's not even like his nose is broken. It's just, just clean up the blood outside. Like it's not even, it didn't even get inside.
How much was it?
It wasn't that much. That's what I'm saying. Just splash the water on it, we're done. It wasn't, he was like dripping. It wasn't like splatters of blood. So I was like, just throw the towel away and just rinse that off. We done. Then we go back in basketball. He good. We're fine. But I said it so nonchalantly. I think that's what triggered her, because all I'm thinking is throw the towel in the Walmart bag, Winn-Dixie bag, and throw it in the trash. Ash's idea was, you're not going to throw that towel away. I know that. This is a washcloth or a face towel. It's a white face towel, sure, but it's a face towel. She insisted that we had to wash that face towel and clean it, because why would you throw away a face towel? We spent another 20 minutes, me and her, just arguing about this face towel. Shane had stopped bleeding. Shane's already rinsed off outside, rinsed off the blood outside. And me and Ash is still going back and forth about what to do with this face towel.
Now, was it one of the good ones, though? Because, you know, them things, they're not cheap.
Paige, even if it was a good one, I'm working double time at this point. I'll pay for a whole 20-pack of face towels not to get in trouble with my parents.
A pack?
How much do you think a face towel costs?
Sometimes they come in singles. They're expensive.
Okay, so come in singles for how much? Tell me one. How much one costs?
Well, apparently this one had to be expensive.
What,
if she
$40,
was willing
$50?
to wash it. No.
Exactly.
You were willing to pay $50 for a washcloth?
It wasn't going to be $50. That's my point. Why are we having a 20-minute conversation about it?
She probably thought it was expensive. That girl's in college.
Even if she thought, what would be the most expensive face towel that we would have at that house? Like, just give me a number. It could not have been more than $20 for one towel.
What I'm saying is she probably
Why are we having this
saw
conversation?
value in it and was like...
The value was not getting my butt kicked by my parents.
Say that for it then.
I said that. I said it to her right now. I said, bruh, that woman. I said, bruh, what? It's a towel. My parents about to come home and flip out. And you think this towel is worth it? That's my point. Clearly, we have very different meanings of what worth is right now.
She knew she wasn't about to get beat.
Exactly. You had no idea how she didn't want to protect us from getting whatever was coming if they saw this face towel. It's a simple washcloth, bro. Throw it in the trash and let's move on. All that to say, I've had some interesting interactions with my cousin's family as roommates. So then we get to college. Ooh, we didn't even get to college. Where your actual roommates occur.
I want to say this is what I thought you meant by roommates. Come on.
Well, I was trying to build to this, but we've been on plenty of tangents, so that's fine. Okay, your first roommates in college. Let's see what you got. You had a few in college. What was your first one? How was your first college roommates? I mean, how did that
go? Okay, so starting off college, I was in the only all-girl dorm.
Mm-hmm.
And
was it up Soda P?
Pride.
Pride.
And my first roommate, it keep looking like I'm missing a tooth right here. I'm not.
Everybody know your teeth straight, fine.
No, I just keep looking in the
Okay, but I got a gap. Okay, I got a gap. Okay. Show off, bro.
Really? But she was okay. I mean, we didn't really like hang out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, we just weren't in this like same friend group. We weren't in the same clubs, like or like affiliation. Groups, yeah, we just were not. We were strictly. And my thing was, okay, so my mistake was I wanted to expand going to college. And so I told myself, okay, try to get like this shared dorm. Shared meaning you don't have your own individual room.
Yeah, some dorms had individual rooms. Yeah. Some dorms you was in your own room by yourself. Like even not without a roommate at all. Some was you just shared a room. Or
you had ZT where you had a communal bathroom.
That's what I'm talking about. ZT.
No, that wasn't happening. But all the other dorms had their own individual bathrooms in the room. So I was like, okay, let me just try it out like traditional style and do the shared room with someone else in the room with me. And big mistake. The first roommate I had, she was okay. I mean, it was just you can tell when you just don't live like somebody.
Yeah.
And you know me, I
sharing
like
space that you don't know them.
Yeah, I mean, even with us, like I like my things a certain way. Like when I'm like aggressively like cleaning certain things, you're like, girl, what are you doing? I'm like, it needs to the clutter.
That came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's just I like to have things a certain way, and I would like walk in and she would be like frying sausage. I'm like, girl, we live on the third floor. Like, what are you doing?
On the third floor, second floor.
Or second floor, whatever floor it was. But like, it's not like it was a single room with a bathroom in the inside.
Ain't no stove in them.
Right. She had like a hot plate, which you weren't supposed to have, and would have the window open,
right.
like frying smoked sausage, and like her and her friend would be dyeing her hair in the sink. And I'm like, what is going on?
Hey, freshman life is real.
But she didn't make it to second semester.
Hey, you ain't gotta say all that. You don't know you ain't gotta say all that.
But
go ahead, Paige. And then your next roommate.
Well, I didn't have a roommate for a very long time after that.
Oh, yeah.
It was only like towards the end of the semester, I think. The end of my second semester that I had another roommate because I was in a room by myself for a long time because we just didn't have anybody else to put in there. So didn't have anybody else to put in there. So when I got the new girl, she was cool. I mean, she was cool as in like we would like talk and stuff. She was a lesbian, and she would like tell me all these different things. Like she would like explain all this stuff, and it would just like blow my mind. Like all the stuff she would say, I'm like, girl, what?
She's rather open.
Yes, and I was like, I thought I was open.
Exactly how she expressed.
Even though I think she stole my flat iron. I'm gonna keep that one. She did steal my flat iron.
You said, do you think? Now she did?
I think she did because when I confronted her about it, she was like, oh, you could just have this. And I'm like, no, I don't want your flat iron. I want the one I had.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I think she took my flat iron. But like, no, her and her girlfriend, they would fight all the time. That's why I ended up having to go by you. Because they would be so dangerous. Like, she'll call me in the middle of the night, like, oh, I'm in the hospital, and they were breaking like light bulbs and stuff. It was crazy, and like showing me all these different things. I was like, I peacefully decline being your roommate. Being your roommate.
The information? No, the roommate thing. The roommate thing. I think about it.
So like, for like a few weeks, it was like a couple weeks. It seemed like it was longer than that, but like I really had to like go and stay with you for a bit because it was just so dangerous being by them. Like her girlfriend didn't even go to school with us.
Well, she
was like living in the dorm. It wasn't even an on-campus apartment. It was a dorm.
Oh, that's what you mean. Oh,
it was a dorm.
Yeah, it was an actual dorm.
And like she was like staying up in there, and I'm like, we don't even have
no separation in the room.
No separation, like no partition, like nothing.
Some drawer, drawer space underneath.
And I just had luckily I had my little lock trunk, my little lock on it.
Goodness gracious.
With all my important things in there, but like. It just was like unsafe the way that they were fighting. I didn't feel comfortable. And then that's when I went to go stay by you.
Yeah, so rewind a bit before we get to you staying by me. Okay, so my roommates in in college, I had my first roommates. So we did have separated rooms, but we shared a common area. So we shared a bathroom. We shared a kitchen area, which just had a microwave in it and kind of a space for a fridge. Okay, this is my freshman year, my first semester there. I didn't too much care for dude. He was rather rude. I just didn't care for dude.
Well, tell me off camera.
We shared a name.
Oh.
So
I remember he came and knocked on my door.
No, he didn't.
Wait, you talking about the UL one?
No.
I mean, sorry, not that one.
What are you talking about? His name is Steven, Paige. I have the name is Steven. His name is Steven. Yes, he was Caucasian, yes.
No, his girlfriend did.
How would you know? Because I didn't meet him after the first semester.
At UL?
At Southeastern, Paige. I started at Southeastern Louisiana University.
The girl.
How would you know?
Because.
Oh, you fast forwarding so far. Oh my
I'm like,
goodness.
what are you talking about?
When I was at Southeastern, before you got there, while you were still in high school, as a junior in high school.
When you used to stay with Barry and all them, like in the...
Before all of that.
Yes. But what I'm saying...
I had a roommate at Southeastern named Steven, who you never met.
So you must have two roommates named Steven then. Because at UL, you had a roommate named Steven. And
I also had a roommate named Steven at UL, yes.
Oh, okay.
We shared more than that. We shared a living room there and everything. It was actual apartments.
Yeah. You never told me about you. How come I knew it? Okay.
Because the other Steven, I knew him for 3 months. It was just my freshman year, my first semester. I got kicked out of those dorms because I only got a B and got Fs in the rest of my classes. My B was in calculus, of course. Then after that, I got kicked out of the Southeastern's apartments or dorms and had to just travel back and forth. My second year, I was on academic probation. Yeah, and then it took calculus 2, got a C, got one other good grade, and failed everything else. So then that summer had to go to BRCC, and then next fall I had to go to BRCC. The next spring, I could finally get back into the dorms, and that's when I was in ZT. I met you that following fall.
And apparently your grades rose a lot after me.
First of all, time out.
You say you're cutting all this out, but boy.
No, I just said I was cutting a little small part out. Which is not
the grades for me.
What you're not going to do is act like you was the most stellar student in the world. Also,
I wasn't 4.0.
Also, you're not going to poo-poo.
But I was Dean's list, President's list.
You're not going to poo-poo on the rest of us. I got the same degrees, okay?
Exactly.
So you're not going to poo-poo. The rest of us can do great.
I'm the rest of us.
I'm talking about the rest of us who didn't Dean's list, the President's list, that got the list and the list.
What I'm saying is, that was a lot.
What was a lot?
See, if you were cutting all this out, can we cut to the part?
I'm not cutting all of nothing out.
Oh, because
I'm cutting
like,
pieces of this. I say I have a lot to cut out, as in we're already an hour in.
Oh, okay.
That's what I meant.
There are two Stevens. Your first year Steven that I didn't know about.
Yes.
And then UL Steven.
Yes. That's interesting because both of them last names started with a name. Don't ask me how this happened. Impossible. Or my name sounds like a young white guy starting college. Stephen Andrews. Sounds like it.
He played rugby?
Neither one of these guys played rugby. No.
Oh, okay.
Are you thinking I'm trying to make this person up or something?
Mm. No.
I made up a whole human.
I ain't said that.
My parents met him. Both times the guys were met by my parents. I was in college.
Black or white?
White people, bitch.
Oh, your first roommate?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's why he said the white guy. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was like, yeah, the white dude from UL. And he was like, no.
From Southeastern.
Mm.
Steven, last name. Now, this guy's was a Steven with a V. I can't remember the UL guy. I can't remember if it was a PH or a V. I'm probably a V. Most people's named Steven have a V in it. But anyway,
This time you went to Starbucks and you saw that girl where you said
Stephen with a V. Oh, Stephen with a PH.
Steve with a PH. Is you
Stephen PH.
PHEVEN.
And then still put a V in there. Put her Stephen with a V.
That was so funny.
You said Stephen with a V. So that's what I put on the cup. All right, so back to college. Okay, so that was okay. Yeah, then still back at SLU. We had more roommates. Now I had one more roommate after ZT, and that was the infamous, the famous, the well-renowned.
Okay, let the people know.
Mr. I don't mind saying his name because he's a fan of the potty. Mr. Roderick Shropshire, or Sir himself. Shout out, Sir.
Cool. He is cool. I like him.
Sir was in my wedding. He's one of the closest people I have in my life. Even though we don't get to talk as often, but that's my dude. So anyway, me and Sir are roommates. We met just from him working with Pop. This is probably gonna be a two-parter, by the way. But we met just from him working with Pop, or not working with Pops. He worked. So my dad was he worked at my dad worked at BRCC, and Sir was a student worker at BRCC, working under my Pops. And he decided to go to Southeastern, and my dad was like, see if I didn't know him very much. I mean, we had met a couple times, but we talked, and he was like, yeah, sure, that'll work. Us trying to be roommates, and it's easier to split the cost and all the good stuff, And so we got to know each other quite a bit. Got really close. I got to know him a lot more in depth than I knew anybody else outside of Paige at the time. But yeah, we became roommates, and then eventually Paige became part of our roommate group, intentionally or not. So it became, but all of us kind of hung together all the time for years. From that year and a half, I guess, and from then on, of course. So
yeah, he was always very cool and understanding.
So Sir's a very particular type of person as well.
I'm about to say, yeah.
Let's just go with that. Okay, Sir is he's unique in his own. He kind of he's strategic in the way that he lives. I think that's the best way.
I always respect that about him, because it's like, I don't know, when I see how he is, I'm like, I get it.
Mm-hmm. Respect is the right word. If I could be that, I don't have.
If I had so much slack, I would be there. Joking around.
Anywho. But yeah. So we had Sir as a roommates.
Yeah.
Then I graduated Southeastern.
No, I was a roommate. Oh, you still finishing your roommates?
Yeah. I mean, I was finishing my Southeastern time.
Okay.
Because after I graduated Southeastern,
I still got 3 more roommates to go through.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah.
So, okay, sorry, go ahead. So, okay, go with you before I graduate. Go ahead, go with yours, at least. And then we'll stop after the college part.
Oh, after the undergrad part? Okay.
Yeah, undergrad.
So, after that, thankfully, Roger, shout out, allowed me to, I wasn't even living with you. It was at nighttime I was with you, because I would spend all of my daytime on campus. I was doing 3 days in the gym, eating there, and then I remember I used to.
I mean, but you ever make just
right?
Just come on.
Because I used to cook for y'all all the time. Because I remember I used to give Shane
if you cook
my
all
meal
the time,
card
you
all the
roommate.
time,
Come on, man.
right?
Come on, okay.
And
but then after.
So after that, I ended up moving to the on-campus apartments, and there you have 3 roommates. So 2 on one side, 2 on the other. You share your kitchen and living room area, and then so two on one side of the bathroom, two on the other side of the bathroom, then you share your kitchen and living room area. And so it was me, my very good best friend from middle school. We still click tight to this day. Shout out to Irie. Another one of our friends who we met during our first year, and another girl who we met who you ended up knowing because she was older than us.
That's the one I was talking about. That's what I was
she was older than us, so she was like in your class, but she lived with us as well. So her and the other girl lived on one side, and then me and I, we lived on the other side. And so that was bliss right there, because me and I, we've been knowing each other since we were like 12. Yeah. No.
That was the name of the school.
Before 12. Wait, how old are you in 5th grade?
10? 9?
Yeah, so very early on. Yeah, it had to be like, 10.
You usually have 5 to the grade.
What was I on 11?
Yeah, 4 or 5 to the grade.
Okay. So, 10.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been knowing her for a very long time, since 5th grade. And we ended up going to school together. And after all that time, we would both spend, we would also split our time in half, in each other's dorms as well. Like when I was in Pride and she was over there, she had one of the, what are they called? The separate dorms called? The single room dorms?
Single room dorms. Which?
It was one of the newer ones. I can't remember the name of it because it's the one by the gym.
Oh, I know what you're talking. Yeah. Because that's how we met.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was her dorm, right? I wouldn't pick y'all up from.
Most people stayed over there, but I stayed in Pride. I was next.
I know that's where I picked y'all up from that first night. Was by
the one by the gym.
I know what you're talking about. Go ahead. Anyway.
So we would always be with each other. We took all the same classes, all the same stuff, and so
we finally moved into the on-campus apartment.
Yes, and that was a great time for me because we had our little schedule down. Girl, you gonna clean the bathroom on Monday, Wednesday. You gonna clean on this day, this day. We just had everything down, down to classes. Okay, well, she'll be well, I'm gonna go back to New Orleans for this time. I'll be all right, I got the notes for you. And then we'll do vice versa. When you move to Lafayette and I would come out and visit you, she would go to class and take notes for me and stuff like that. That was the perfect mixture of having a person to live with. And then we would grocery shop together, or if I would go to the store and she couldn't go.
First of all, what you're not going to do is say the perfect mixture of living with somebody. It's not the darn husband.
We're talking about roommates in college.
Okay, you say
look at the doc.
You talking about at the time? Are you talking about the time?
Look at the doc.
Because the perfect situation is the one you got right now.
Look at the docket. Who we talking about?
Was I not your roommate in college before her?
Steven, by default, because my roommates, my actual roommates, were beating the crap out of each other.
That ain't got nothing to do with me. You chose the roommates. You chose this. I want to open myself. You chose this. I want to open myself, and I want to experience. I want to experience also. Listen, boyfriend. I'm trying to stay safe and live just a few more years. So kind of. All right. Anywho, the perfect situation is this man. This guy.
Look, I used to be
I come cook.
No, remember? You remember? I used to be. Yes, I used to say that. I was I come cook.
You didn't say it like that, but
I used to be okay, well, remember? I used to go meet your brother because the dinner started at 6 or something like that. And so I was meet me by the cafeteria. I'm going to give Shane my card. And I was I'm about to go get my clothes together. Come pick me up at 8. And I'd be I'm just going to be there from 8 to 8 because I had 8 o'clock classes. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't bother y'all.
It's literally the only time people are at their apartments is from 8 to 8, bitch.
And 8 of those hours are sleeping. So
Name one college student that sleeps 8 hours. I want to know the human that you're referencing. Because
Why
that
does
has
you
never
sleep
happened.
like 5, 6? And I'm to get up for my 8 o'clock.
My point is, you not gonna say the perfect roommate situation is not me. Because you didn't choose Ari. Y'all could go together. Go ahead.
She still had roommates.
But the perfect roommate situation. Oh my goodness, that shit probably raised my. They got
The lamb roller.
the perfect roommate situation is just
Clearly. What, 14 years later?
That's not what you said. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, let the time speak for itself. You and I were still here 14 years later. What does it?
Right.
What does that mean?
It means that one of them
Y'all
is a
top
roommate,
notch.
and one of them is
we're not.
but that's
We're not really not roommates.
All right, let's make it all right. Anyway, okay, so you had those 3 months, but that was right after I had. Oh, that was as I was graduating, I think. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I graduate and I go into grad school, and you're still at UL for a semester. I'm sorry,
everybody
for a
leaves.
semester, and then everybody leaves, and Paige decides, well. Everybody leaving, I think we're going to head to UL. So I think we'll stop here. We'll finish this one as a second parter.
We're going to follow up with roommates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got plenty more to go.
Are we talking about other people's roommates as well, or just ours?
Well, on the docket is our roommates, and we have plenty more of those as well. I'll get to them. You'll see.
Oh, goodness.
But we can talk about other people's roommates and their... our interactions. We can talk about that at the end if we have time next week or next time we shoot, whenever we shoot. So, any last things you got, Ben?
No, I'm ready to talk to people next time.
Mm-hmm.
At least now that I know the topic. So.
Oh, I didn't say it was gonna be like the very next episode.
Oh,
might have
Steven.
one. Might have a break in between. Might have you do one in between. I don't know. You like hosting clearly, so maybe.
You hate him because I'm good at it.
Oh no. Ain't no hateration. It ain't hateration. Ain't no
hateration. And it's dancery. Yes, there is.
None of it. Okay.
Yes, there is.
Shout out Mary J. All right. Not the weed. I'm really doing the weed. I meant Mary J. Blige. The infamous, the queen of the rhythm and blues. Okay.
You're wild.
Anything else?
No, sir.
All right, well, thank you for watching, listening to another episode of Taking the Stage. Shout out.
See you guys next time.
Shout out, sir, man.
Bye.
Holla. Have a good one.
Hey, podcasters. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Also, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. You can also listen to our audio podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, or wherever you get your podcasts. Have a good one.
All right. Dang, she was holding that in the whole time. Now, I'm keeping that in.
No, I thought
I'm
you
keeping
stopped
that in.
it.
No, I didn't stop at everything. I'm keeping that in. Not the double, yo. Not the double, yo. Oh man.